Yo, 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 get up in here, y'all. Get up in here. Get up in here. Get up in here. And let's talk about this shit. It's a trending topic. We already know what time it is, fellas, but Casey gonna he gonna share his insights and things of that sort. Theorize certain things, my opinion, whatever. And just remember, fellas, this is just all opinionated. Everything is not really actual factual. I wasn't there in Brentwood. I wasn't there in LA, California, whatever the case may be, when the things happened and the things occurred, but I was around when certain things led up to what occurred in Brentwood between OJ Simpson and Nicole Brown, Simpson and the Ronald Goldman guy, her friend. Take a sip of this water. We're gonna get off into this, you know. But before we do get off into this, fellas, you already know, go hit the PayPal. The Cash App links are definitely in the chat. Hit the membership button. Hit the super chat button just as well, fellas. Show love to the show. Get at me on Rumble, fellas. I'm definitely dropping over there. I'm just getting more subscribers. They coming in, so come fuck with me over there on Rumble just as well. Get at me in the Patreon, fellas, to get on that Mackin session. That $10 tier is my most prominent tier. Game that I do not spit over here. A little bit something for you guys as mouthpiece, so you can put it out there in the atmosphere and make things happen for yourself, right? Right? Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go. So go join that Patreon, get on that $10 tier. That $5 tier is there just as well. And that 7-day free trial is still popping. I'm going to close that out next week. So give you guys a little bit more time to come in and fuck with me. Holler at me. Get at the get at me on the banner scrolling across the screen at the bottom, fellas. Remember the Gmail is railsfargo12 at gmail.com. Railsfargo12 at gmail.com. Get at me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at the Real Rails FA1. Like, share, and subscribe. Fair use. Enjoy the show. Fair use. Enjoy the show. And you guys already know what time it is. We're going to get it popping. Now, did OJ Simpson kill Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman? But before we get into it, I almost forgot. Hit the notification bell, fellas, to get alerted on the show every 2 to 3 days. Hit the notification bell. Now, did OJ Simpson kill Nicole Brown Simpson? Huh. We're gonna get off into this. What we're gonna do right now, we're gonna go through some things that I'm already aware of. A lot of you young guys are not aware of. So we're gonna go through a lot of these things. This is his Wikipedia right here. We see, look at the accolades OJ got. He only played for two teams, Buffalo Bills and San Francisco 49ers. 1973, most valuable player. 1973, NFL Offensive Player of the Year. Between 72 and 76, five-time first-time All-Pro. Between 72 and 76, five-time Pro Bowl. 1969, AFL All-Star. 1973, Britt Bell Award. 1973, AP Athletic of the Year Award. 1972, three-time UPI AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Now a lot of the times, fellas, and he was achieving back when it was still the AFL, fellas, when it wasn't even, it hasn't did its merger thing and it became, the conglomerate that it is now, the NFL. And the list goes on, fellas. I'd be here all day reading this shit. OJ has accomplished so much. First is ever scored, first African American man. Let's get that correctly. Black man, a brother that ever scored. And ever rushed. I mean, that's what I meant to say. Scored, rushed for 2,000 yards, man. Beast mode. I wasn't born then. I wasn't around, but I know the history of it. See, when I came in, when I was coming up, OJ wasn't really. Um, OJ was already out the picture. He already had retired, and Marcus Allen was kind of reigning over OJ with his, with his thing and what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? He came in, he got a ring with the Raiders. So, big up to Marcus Allen, and not only that, allegedly he was supposed to be fucking on OJ's wife, ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson. He's supposed to be fucking with her, and that caused a whole lot of problems between OJ and Marcus Allen, caused them to fall out. And those things transpire, fellas, just like a lot of women, some women do that. Some women, hey, should you out with the old and with the new? Some guys will call it hypergamy. I don't see it that way. I just see it as her having her choices and her in that, she's in that field of athletes and entertainers or whatever the case may be. And she was doing her shit that way. And it caused a whole lot of mayhem, allegedly, right? Now, I grew up watching Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith. My first running back ever I was aware of was Bo Jackson. Shouts out to Bo Jackson. You know what I'm saying? If you guys ever know Bo Jackson, I know you know Barry and Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders. That's my favorite running back of all time is Barry. I'm sorry. Hands down. That's mine. A lot of guys may fuck with O.J. Simpson. A lot of guys, the older generation fuck with Jim Brown. A lot of them fuck with Walter Payton. Shouts out to these guys. You know what I'm saying? Emmitt Smith, but my dude was Bo was an introduction into me wanting, because I played running back position in school. So Bo was an introduction for me wanting to, be a running back. But Barry gave me that, nigga, shit. Well, you can do this. And that was my guy, Barry. Shouts out to Brian Turner. He in the building. Easily the most talented running back of that era, 2,000 yards in the NFL makes you world-class athlete. Facts, man. He was the first that ever did it. Now it's been broken. You had certain guys, Fred Taylor, a lot of them broke OJ's record, but he was the first that ever did it. So he stood to tell, it stood there for like 15, 20 years, for a long time, bro. He stood on his record for a long time before someone came along and broke it. I forgot who came along and first broke it, but he stood on it for a minute. Trent Trader, Mr. Turner. Yeah, shouts out to Trent Trader. Pedro, the New Era Music, my homie. What's up with it? When they told this week that OJ passed, I thought they meant someone named Orange Juice. LOL. My partner said no, dumbass OJ Simpson. Yeah, but see, y'all young. You know what I'm saying? I'm older than y'all, and I was real young when OJ was coming into the field. I first learned about OJ, bro, in like 1990. I was 10 or 11 when I first heard the Juice. Then I'm like, who is that? Like, I was a kid though. Who is that? Even though I was playing Pop Warner football and shit, but he was so out of touch at that time because he retired. He was a little older. He went on with his life. What was in was what was in. It was Bo Jackson. So I was rocking with Bo, but when I first heard of him, I went to do my history highlights and things. So I'm like, okay, shit, that's what we talking about, right? That's what's up, OJ the man. Trend Trader. Yeah, we're going to get off into this story, y'all. We're going to get off into it. I'm going to break down my theory and everything. We're going to gear up for it. I like to acknowledge the chat first, Trend Trader, Pedro. That win this bitch. Brian Turner, dude, was Heisman winner and NFL MVP. You know what I'm saying? Take this into consideration. Peyton, Elway, Rodgers, and other icons like that never accomplished that. Facts. Yes. Heisman, fresh up out of USC. You know what I'm saying? And SC was killing shit back then. I mean, they still doing their thing right now, for real. Brian Turner, Marcus Allen was my player. Ladies, man, then OJ. He said, Marcus Allen. I remember when he played for the Chiefs. He came up, but he was kind of on his last leg when he played up here. He was on his retirement kick, almost. Like Joe Montana when he came up here, he was kind of on his retirement kick too. Brian Turner, like Trent Trader, 100, yeah. Bo Jackson is an icon. Facts. That was my guy, bro. Bo, Trent Trader, 33 was my number, although high school, Emmitt Smith. Oh, yeah. Emmitt was the man. He just wasn't. Who overshadowed Emmitt to me was Barry. Barry was my guy, bro. I'm sorry, man. He was just, He was with that shitty ass Detroit Lions at the time, you know, but he made it, you know, he made them what they were, you know, what, hey, shit. Let me see, my guy was LaDainian Thomas. That was my generation. Yeah, that's early 2000s. And LaDainian, I remember LaDainian came in, you know what I'm saying, did his thing. You know, he was a motherfucker. I liked the LaDainian, you know, but Barry, man, I'm just a Barry Sanders fan like a motherfucker. That's just me, bro. You know what I'm saying? But let's get to this, man. Let's talk about some shit, man. Let's talk about what's real. First off, fellas, do I think OJ did it? I'm gonna touch some shit that I might ruffle some feathers, and I'm a lot of people gonna be like, damn, man, you know, brothers. I'm not gonna say he did it. I wasn't there to make that, you know what I'm saying, assumption and stand on business when it comes to that. No, I'm not gonna ever do that with no one. I don't judge no one like that. You know, that's not my place. But I'm gonna put out some things, you know. Most men, and this is I'm talking about this, fellas, because it's game related. You know, this wasn't just a jealousy, rage killing, and you know, and you know, some scam, you know, drug related, Columbia necktie, all that shit you guys been hearing throughout the years. You know, I'm speaking from the perspective of a man and how men are when they're in their jealous ring. You know, now most men, a lot of men, they not gonna admit it. Every man is not gonna admit this. But if you were in love, shouts out to Chris Rock. He said this in his 1998 stand-up. I forgot the name of the stand-up. He was wearing black, like a leather jacket or whatever, and he was talking about the OJ thing, right? Because OJ just went through the silver suit at the time, and he lost through the Goldmans. I don't think the Browns sued because they had custody of the kids at the time of his kids. So, you know, I followed this shit deeply. So I don't think the Browns sued, but the Goldmans definitely hit him. And they won like 33 million or something, 33.5 million, some shit, you know, that which reflected in the 2008 sentencing of the Las Vegas alleged robbery. And he got that. We all know the government played his hand on that. You know, it was like payback, motherfucker, for the money you owe the Goldmans and the, you know, the murder you got away with. We all know that. There's no fucking hidden secret to that. This has been open forever. Everybody knows this, right? It was payback. Now, let's get back to it. Most men, if they were in love with a woman and she had their heart like that and she had their mind, their soul, financially, they have invested so much into the woman. No matter what this man do, he can go and cheat, he can creep around, he can do his thing. And when she dump him, and he been doing this thing for a long time, you know what I'm saying, on a woman, and he's kind of used to what he's doing, and he's been having his way. You know, not to say this is what's been happening with OJ, but a lot of men, it's just like similarities to this, fellas. A lot of men, they get caught up into possessing that woman, controlling that woman, not want to let that woman go. And when that woman dumps them, or she do something foul, like fuck with their homies, or do scam, you know, she's fucking around, or she's doing things that's contrary to the relationship, or whatever the case may be, right? That makes him look like a fool, or you know, makes him look like a sucker or an idiot, and touches his feelings, hurts his little feelings, or whatever the case may be, right? Most men is contemplated doing something to that woman. They don't like to admit it though. That's why I'm the real Wells Fargo fella. I'm the truth speaker. I ain't gonna have a lot of motherfuckers coming over to subscribe and fuck with me, fella. Because I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna tell you what a lot of guys are afraid to tell you. Most men are contemplated doing something. Now, have all men cross that line? No. Hell no. Or the prison system will be full with every fucking man, right? So I did time, fellas. I've seen guys that cross that line and actually, you know, harm their wives and their spouses and things of that sort. And there's female prisons where females do the same fucking thing. You know, these things happen. Now, am I saying that this happened to OJ? Was this OJ that, you know, did he actually do this thing? No, I'm not saying that. I just know how men are, fellas. A lot of men are contemplating doing something. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this bitch that treated me like shit. I'm going to go and do this, do that. You know, and it may have go as far as contemplating this, you know, actually deleting her, taking her life, or wherever the case may be. Not to say that OJ went this far and did that, But a lot of guys contemplated these things, and I was around then, fellas. We was watching the game, and it went to commercial, or we cut right through the game. If I remember, I was 12, about to be 13 when this shit happened. It happened in June of '94. I'll never forget it. It was real big then. It's I heard somebody say it. They say if you was the equivalent, put it in an equivalent form of today's time, it's like if Michael Jordan was to retire. Who said that? I think Coach Greg Adams said that. I think I heard him say it on his channel and shit. He said it'd be like equivalent to if Michael Jordan was to, do that to his wife or whatever the case may be, or be, alleged to have done that, or people have to think he done that, then it would be a biggest thing. It would be the biggest shit now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people this era be like, damn. Now just think if that was the OJ, back in OJ, or you guys wasn't born, a lot of you guys wasn't around. But this is what happened, because he was just as big. He was the first Michael Jordan, the first player. Actually, he was the first athlete that ever scored endorsement deals, and um, dude was getting it with that shit, bro. Hertz, different companies, Honey Baked Ham Company, Ramada Inn hotels, when they used to have a lot of Ramada Inns. They ain't none of them. I don't think they're around no more. I never seen none in a minute. But they used to have a Ramada Inn, so he was investing in OJ had some shit. He had his investments. He had shit going. OJ was getting to the bag like a motherfucker, right? Now, I'm gonna theorize some things, fellas, and for what I've heard in the streets of LA, in the streets of, I know a few people. I did time, I traveled. You get to meet people and you get cool with people and you get talking about shit. You know what I'm saying? I've heard a couple stories, you know what I'm saying? Now, one of the stories was definitely a drug debt or whatever the case may be. And for what I'm hearing, Nicole, Kris Jenner, the Kardashians' mom. This is supposed to be allegedly. Allegedly, damn near close to the truth from who I'm hearing it from. Like, these are dudes in the streets that was getting money. These are older guys who was actually supplying some of these motherfucking celebrities. You know what I'm saying, and making sure they held down when it come to that shit. And they had another friend, Faye something, Faye Rednick, Resnick, what's her, Faye something. They had another friend, Faye. It was a few. They had a little group of chicks, and they was running around, allegedly running up debts, running up tabs, and by them running up debts and running up tabs and shit, especially back in those days, fella. We talking the '90s, '80s and '90s and shit of that sort. Because she died in '94, so they definitely was playing in the field in the '80s. So '80s and '90s, right? Um, the drug game was real serious back then, fellas. I've lived in that time. I was a young dude trying to get off into that world. Unfortunately, it was real serious. You played with somebody's money and you will come up fucked up. It wasn't no joke back then. I'm gonna keep it real. It wasn't no joke, fellas. And if you know your history, man, from the Colombians, the Haitians, the Italians, African Americans, these bikers, a lot of motherfuckers was, running drugs and doing their thing like that, fellas. They had their gangs and cliques, and motherfuckers wasn't afraid to pull that trigger. You know, set your ass on fire, burn you. It was some crazy shit going on back then. Now we have cameras, we have technology. A lot of you guys been birthed into this era of safe, to where you kind of safe. You can talk your shit on social media. You can do shit, hide out and duck motherfuckers, and shit won't happen to you. Back then, we didn't have that. You ran your mouth, you got into some shit, you ran up debts, and you played with people money. You was going to go meet Jesus ASAP. That's how it was. It wasn't no fucking joke. Motherfuckers did things personal. They didn't shoot at the crowd of 50,000 people and think they gangster. No, motherfuckers walked up to you and got you in front of your fucking family. They didn't give a fuck on sight. So this is what I heard. I heard they got into some shit and Nicole got caught up in whatever she got caught up in with her friends, and OJ got tired of paying the debt. And I heard OJ was pressed, basically extorted. This is allegedly. He's supposed to have been pressed and extorted to get the money, and he was tired of paying, so he led them motherfuckers over to do their thing. This is where she at, and hey, shit, he knew of the guy Ryan Goldman. He knew, this is what I'm hearing. This may not be true, I don't know. He knew the guy Ryan Goldman. Ryan Goldman was fucking around with they clique. He was doing drugs, boom, 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 and caught 2 ducks in a noose. This is what I'm hearing. You know, that's what I heard. That's one of the stories I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. And this is coming from guys who's more suitable, you know what I'm saying, to give you the game about this type of shit. And I'm not lying to you fellas. This is all the way real. Now, another story, you know, before we, let me see, Brian Turner. Hold on, let me see, he's saying something again. Oh, okay, he said something again. Like, share, and subscribe, y'all. Hit the super chat, hit the membership button. Like, share, and subscribe, hit the super chat, hit the membership button. Show love to the show. Brian Turner, USC is a tailback. They did a documentary on how well they scouted and developed running backs like Mike Garrett, OJ, White, Marcus Allen, Reggie Bush, all won Heisman. The USC invented running back. LOL. Shit, yeah, like a motherfucker. Hey, I'm gonna keep it real too, bro. USC they was never bad on quarterbacks either. They got that guy, I think it's Caleb Williams. Man, he's a little young nigga, a monster, bro. They wasn't bad on that either. You know what I'm saying? Brian Turner, OJ ruled the world back then. He was Black Captain America. Yeah, he was. You know, he was Black Captain America. But we're gonna get to some other shit. We're gonna talk a little bit on OJ. You know what I'm saying? Brian Turner, my grandma's sister was killed in the '90s playing with the Kingpin money in New Orleans. See, hey, bro, it wasn't no joke back then. I was around, bro. Brian Turner, that makes sense. They was extorting OJ ass. 100%. That's what I'm hearing, you know, and you got motherfuckers in the social media, you know, persecuting this man and dragging him through the motherfucking mud, saying he's gonna go to hell. And I'm, you know, we you a brother, man. I don't know, man. I look at it like this. I got the spirit of a guy that don't judge. I'm not getting ready to do none of that shit. You know, I don't know where OJ will go and where he will be. You know, I don't know. You know, that's not my place to judge that. You know, may he rest well. And everybody that got their opinion, that's just opinion. They can speak their opinion, but people going a little bit too harsh with it, you know. And my thing is this: didn't Phil Spector, simp ass, he's dead, right? He died in prison. Didn't his simp ass smoke a chick in his house because she didn't want to give up none on the first date? Let's keep it real. And he claimed that she's supposed to shot herself. Social media ain't blowing him up, and they're not talking bad about Phil Spector. Did Robert Blake kill his wife allegedly? Okay, then went to trial and everything. He beat it. So they're not dragging him. He died peacefully. OJ can't die peacefully. OJ's getting dragged through the mud. He's dying. You know, they not letting OJ rest in peace. Hell no, they're gonna let him rest in the way they want him to rest, and that's persecute, purgatory in the way they're gonna put him down, and that's not cool. You know, I don't see that being cool simply because you motherfuckers think what he did is what he did. Now, on the other hand, you know, just keep it all the way real, right? Hold on, let me put this up. Let me see. OJ Simpson dead at 76, family says, but let's keep it all the way real, right? For what my understanding, OJ didn't fuck with the brothers. You know, OJ didn't fuck with the community. Let me pause right quick, fellas. Let me get that down real quick. We're gonna get off into it. But from my understanding, OJ sold out the brothers. He was like, you know, I'm not black, I'm OJ. You know, basically, he was basically saying, you know, and shouts out to you know, who said that he was the Captain America of who said that shit? Brian Turner said he's the Captain America, you know, the Black Captain America back then. Yeah, you know, that's how they looked at him. But at the same time, OJ didn't identify with the community. And For what reason, I don't know, but OJ's from out of San Francisco. He's out of the projects in San Francisco, and not identifying with the black community. Say, I'm like, come on, OJ, bro, what the fuck? That's crazy, but what I'm saying. Look at him right here. This is him in his final stages. You know, I'm thinking back in November 2003. OJ, look at him, broken down and everything. Pancreas. I think he prostate cancer or whatever. I forgot what they said. Pancreatic cancer. What he passed away from. And when that trial, see, my thing was this: I was too young, fellas, to actually understand what was going on. I was 12 and 13 years old. I was like, damn, what is it? But one thing I can say that I do remember from that trial is that the Caucasian, the white teachers in my school, right? All the African American young black men, oh man, they was on some slick shit with us, bro. They was, saying, they wasn't blunt with it, but they was saying slick shit and, writing us up for every little petty shit we did, and they was just, some foul shit, misteaching us, like not giving us the right instructions and shit. And I had to go older to pay attention to that. Like, damn, I wonder why they was like this way. And it was between 95, when I was in school, fellas, in 95, 96, they was acting real evilish and foul, you know what I'm saying, towards the young African American men back then. And I had to go over and I talked to this guy when I was in prison. I was like, yeah, man, I remember that. They was like, yeah, that's because OJ won. So they was mad, it was taking it out on black men like that. And a lot of things, fellas, in the process, when I was younger, fellas, we had a different world, TV shows, Martin, we had a lot of Living Single, we had a lot of Living Color, we had a lot of African American shows, fellas, that was prominent, and they was coming, it was like called the Black Hollywood back then. I remember that. And after that OJ shit, man, man, every motherfuckers was getting, souls was getting taken up out of here. They was, man, shit, they wasn't, was pulling the plug on motherfucking shit. Let's keep it real, bro. They was showing their ass towards African Americans, bro, simply because OJ won that case. Like, motherfuckers was most hated when that man won that case, bro. And now my thing is this: OJ might have done that. I just broke down, when you in jealous and you a jealous rage, but then I also broke down for what I heard in the streets on the Colombian thing. They owe money to some Colombians and, things of that sort. So, but at the same time, OJ was found not guilty. And by OJ being found not guilty, fellas, we will at least let the system reign and let the powers be, right? Okay, he's found not guilty. Let this man go on with his life and do his thing. But not OJ, fellas. He was found not guilty and still found guilty in the courts of public opinion. All the way to the depths of them, like, not ever forgiving this man. Like, they followed OJ from that trial. He lost in the civil suit. They followed that man to Miami, and they was on his ass. Everything that came, I will never forget it, bro. Every time it was a news, like some kind of news, coverage coming up, it was something about OJ. Whether they say he tried to steal cable. They say he was arguing with his girl at one point. He had road rage and he slammed his fist on somebody. They made every little fucking thing super big on this guy. Every little thing that he done super fucking big, just to fucking nail him all the way up until the Vegas incident, and to where they gave him that 33 years. They was on this man like a motherfucker. They never forgave this man, but yet and still they want us to forgive for slavery. How do that work? That's why I don't get this shit. Like, hold on. This is something, ain't it? This is, boy, the motherfuckers are crazy, man. They want you to forgive for that, but we're gonna say if this man did do it, fellas, that was wrong. It was simpish. It was an act of rage and jealousy, and I can see these things happening, you know. So I could see a man doing that, but I wasn't there to say he did it, because when you get two stories, one of them saying that he did do it out of jealousy because she was fucking around, you know, and doing her thing in that way, you know. And some say she was off into the drug binge and she owed money and OJ got tired of paying debt. So, and as a youngster, you confused, you torn, you don't really know. You like, damn, I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? What it is. And if the drug thing isn't real and this was put out there, or, you know, and just to cover up the OJ situation or whatever the case may be, that's fucked up. That's diabolical. And that's evil for you to deter the minds of those who actually are, you know, growing to want to know these things, so we can actually learn from situations like this on what to do, what not to do, and how to handle business and relationships, right? Like I said, and you know, on the flip side of that, fellas, I also heard that OJ, you know, lost out on alimony. He was paying some child support or paying some kind of spousal support or something, and he had to fork over a few cars. He had to fork over a house or something like that, apartment, condo. He was forking over a few things. And Nicole was wild. Like, she was like, okay, I'm free. I'm young. I'm still in my youth phase. Because you guys, we got to remember, OJ met her when she was 19, 18, 19, 20. One of them, 18, 19, something. I'm 20 at the most, 18 at the least. And he was like in his early 30s, I believe. Late 20s, early 30s or something. When he met her, they're like a 10 to 12 year difference on him, if I'm not mistaken. Between their age. And, you know, some guys meet women young and in their youth like that, fellas, and they're a little older, even though the women probably have a few bodies, but they not out there like they haven't really got out there into the field like that. And guys to snatch them up and make them their wives, baby mamas, you know, they marry them, do all these things with them. And then when relationships sour out, these guys be really possessive over the bitches because they feel like, shit, bitch, I made you. You know what I'm saying? I had you back, bitch, before you wasn't, you know what I'm saying? You want shit. I brought you into the fold. You know what I'm saying? I made you. I turned you out sexually. I turned you on to things. I influenced you. I'm the impactful one in your life. And then you say, fuck me and cut me loose and go out and then fuck with allegedly Marcus Allen. Allegedly you fuck with multiple other guys that's running around Hollywood, you know, that I know, like some guys I mean, either, you know, business with or whatever, you know, whatever the case may be, friends, enemies, and you doing this shit in my vehicles. You bringing these guys back to the places that I'm paying the mortgage at. Now, what you guys think about that? He could have took it to another level. Like, hey, fuck that. You got me fucked up. And, you know, and from the tapes we've been hearing, you know, tapes I've you know, heard them tapes, and OJ was on some other shit. You know, you looking into the window, catching her, giving cap to a motherfucker, giving that head to a motherfucking shit. You catching her doing that shit. Forgot the good guy name that she was fucking with, you know. But dude stated, he said, man, you know, and you got to understand the sincerity of some people, fellas. You know what I'm saying? So OJ, everywhere they went, OJ made his presence known. And when you hear these same stories over and over, it had never been like, there's no indication, there's no lying, no one switched up, nothing and nothing of that sort. You know what I'm saying? You be like, damn, is there some truth to this shit? You know? Dude was like OJ everywhere they went. OJ was either calling the phone, showing up, stalking on some other shit. And these things can push a man to the edge, fellas, to where there's no, you know, there's no return. And shit like this can happen. Now, there's the other side of that, you know, that we had to talk about, fellas, you know. Jealousy, rage, you know what I'm saying? You being mad because you can't control a bitch who's going, not to call her that, may she rest well, you know, she's deceased. Ryan Goldman, you know, I don't know these peoples, but I know they are they deceased. OJ's gone just as well. So they all may they rest well and you know, have mercy on their families. You know what I'm saying? Like I would say with anyone, fellas, but the truth is the truth. Let's keep it all the way real. It's the truth channel. We don't be on no bullshit here. You know, she was running around allegedly slurring up in this man's shit that he paid for. And he was like, hey, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? No, you're not gonna make a mockery of me. You're not gonna make me look like shit. You're not gonna make me look bad. So, this is what's gonna happen. And we know what happened, right? That's another side that I also heard, fellas. You know what I'm saying? So how crazy that it sounds, especially when them kids in the house and the kids up there asleep. They could have stumbled down into watching that shit, and father doing this to the kids. That's bananas, bro. You know what I'm saying? Behind her want to make moves and do what the fuck she want to do, and her choice and free will, man. And if this is true, fellas, you can't be caught up in the possessive life. You can't possess a bitch. You don't own her. You can't run a bitch into to where she's gonna always feel like everywhere she go, she got to check in with you. She got to call you. She got to text you, or you gonna blow up. You gonna get mad. You got the money. You can turn her lights off. You can turn her water off. You can stop things from happening for her. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the way to live, fellas. You got to get your game right, get yourself right before you even jump off to these relationships and shit. You know what I'm saying? Brian Turner, where he said U.S. has the most Heisman winners. They had three QBs win it. Palmer, yeah, Lerner, and Caleb Williams. Yep, the bitches at their school football team running through them joints. They supposed to. They young. That's the game. Get that shit in. They was doing the same thing when OJ and them was up there. They said Marcus Allen, OJ was nigga nailing them. You know what I'm saying? Nailing them hoes up there. And Brian Turner, OJ sound like an athlete version of Will Smith to me. He just didn't seem to blend in with other black folks, especially urban culture. No. You come up out of the community, you naturally in. You blend in. Now, blending yourself out is something different. You know what I'm saying? When um, OJ divorced his wife, Margaret, Jason and Arnell's moms. They moms and shit. He divorced her, and they say he divorced her, and got with Nicole, Brown, Simpson, whatever. Like fuck, not too long after that, and shit, his whole image and everything about him changed overnight. He said he changed overnight like a motherfucker. He was basically on the mission to change, but then when he got with her, it solidified his change to where he was like, you know, golfing in little ass shorts and shit. OJ was on some pictures and shit I was seeing, man. OJ, man, I'm like, this ain't no man. But I wasn't around then to make that, what I'm saying, assumption to say that he was doing these things. But you hear this from enough people, you like, damn. And then, you hear him say, I'm not black. He says out his mouth, I'm not black, I'm OJ. So that right there discredits, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that right there discredits everything that he wanted to stand on when it comes to the black community. And if he, see it in the form of, yeah, I'm from Frisco, I'm from the ghetto, Hunters Point, that's where he's supposed to be from or whatever. And, that discredits that. It's like, fuck where I come from. Shame on that. And, this is right here. This year gave me the opportunity. I'm going to run with this, These people were there for me. These people gave me the money. They gave me the chance. They gave me the schooling. They gave me the education. I'm there for it, and the women, their women is loving me. They're adoring me. They're appreciative of me. And, more so than the black women. I see how these things can go, especially a lot of athletes move this way, fellas. That's how they move, and they look at it like there's bad communication or, there's a bad aligning with athletes and African Americans. It's been a stigma for so long, you know what I'm saying, forever. So I don't know what the case may be, you know what I'm saying, but I do know this though, man, and this for sure, when OJ won that trial, he ran back to the black community like it wasn't shit. I was around, fellas. OJ had cameras all on him. He going to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle. He off in Compton. He back in San Francisco. He off into the neighborhoods where the people who actually supported him and got him off. You know what I'm saying? We stood firm for OJ back then, We act like, look, y'all seen the footages and the trial footage. Look how many African Americans jumping around. Yeah, like we won. What the fuck have we really won? Think about it. What have we won? Where now I get that we're excited because the 1960 Detroit and Watts riots, right? Those riots back then. When the police came in the communities, and the Detroit, I believe the Detroit riots was with the African Americans getting discharged from the army, and they went into a white bar and they wanted some drinks and white. It became racially divided that quick inside that bar, and then it turned into an uproar, and the city became mayhem in no time. That's my understanding about the Detroit riots. Now the Watts riots, I forgot what that sparked. I know my history on these things, fellas. Just when you study so much, some things you forget. I got to go back and look at that. But the Watts riots sparked things. These things was already brewing and boiling, ready to happen. You know what I'm saying? And the shit that happened with Latasha Harlins, I do remember that because a lot of mothers and fathers in the African American community back then, they was just devastated because this little girl, 13-year-old baby, black African American, sister, went into the Korean store, bought an orange juice. I believe she had a receipt, or she was going to buy the orange juice and walk to the counter with it. And the Korean chicks came out. One of the Korean chicks sold her the orange juice, and she had a receipt. The other Korean chick came out, seen a lot of African American kids in there. Get out, you get out. And that's where the parody from Don't Be a Menace is supposed to come in. Hurry up and buy. Remember they were saying that about the Asians and things of that sort. That's where that came in from. It was like mocking that situation, how Asians was kind of treating African Americans in the LA, California district. This is history, fellas. I'm not speaking nothing you can't go look up and see. These are things I just know firsthand because I was around there. I was younger, but I was well aware enough, thanks to my grandmother, my parents and shit, having me, conscious on certain things, and Natasha Harlins went to go and she was telling me, I bought the orange juice. And then the Asian woman tried to yank her back to the counter. She I bought it, had a receipt in her other hand and tried to yank away from her. And the Asian woman shot her in the head. Executed, took her out right then and there. And she ended up receiving 1 year probation, $1,000 fine, I believe 25 hours of community service, some real petty for doing that. But she got jumped, and they put hands and feet definitely went down in that store and shit. She was all marked up, bruised up, and everything of that sort. But she was found, basically shit, not guilty. I mean, you getting something that petty, and then she went on to go back to do her thing, And the Asian community, they got their lawyers, they got their community advisor. They're well protected within themselves, and you should know that, right? It's us brothers and sisters and shit that's definitely separated now, and that which is fucked up. But that right there sparked an uproar. Then not too long after that, Rodney King was viciously attacked, damn near beaten to inches of his life by the police department. I mean, by Los Angeles, not the police department, but the Los Angeles police. And they went and got found not guilty. They switched their venue from where it happened in LA to Simi Valley. I will never forget this shit. And they went out there and was found not guilty. After that, fuck this. We got tired. And they got tired. They tore that motherfucker down. It was the riots. It was the LA riots. That's where all that came in at. Those things sparked to where when the OJ case came around, OJ came with his case, 2 years later? And then when that case came, LA didn't want to see those problems no more. LA didn't want to, they had to paying all these billions of dollars out to reconstruct the city again. No, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? We can't have this no more. If we find this man guilty, that played a part in it. His case, him being found not guilty. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to tell you the truth. What a lot of these commentators and networks, all these people that's going against OJ won't tell you is that Mark Furman, the alleged racist cop, he gonna say alleged, he was proven to be racist. He came in and pleaded the Fifth Amendment on every motherfucking question that was answered. which made it look like that they planted evidence. Let's keep it real. It made it even look guilty for planting evidence on OJ. When they asked him, was he racist? Did he use the N-word? With F. Lee Bailey, where we at? Oh, let me go up in here. You show you. I think I got a scene here somewhere. Let me see. That's the glove try on right there. F. Lee Bailey. Hold up. Where is this motherfucker at? Because I remember the judges. You had F. Lee Bailey, Robert Shapiro, Johnny Cochran, Barry Shack, Carl Douglas. It was an African American chick that was with him. Alan Dershowitz. I remember all this shit. Let me see. That's the fictional version of it. Where that motherfucker at? There was some pictures up here where F. Lee Bailey was on the stand getting on his ass. Hold up. Getting on let me get over here real quick. Here it go right here. This is, let me blow this up. This is F. Lee Bailey right here. The Caucasian guy standing by OJ, and that's Johnny Cochran, that's Robert Shapiro in the back right there. F. Lee Bailey pulled up on Furman. Have you ever used that word, N-word? You ever used that N-word? Have you ever approached any African American men in that way? In that form, have you ever done these things in your career as a police officer? I plead the fifth. Have you planted evidence? I plead the fifth. Have you did this? I plead the fifth, which made OJ look like he was getting framed. Even if OJ did do it, the prosecution office helped him get off. Pay attention to this shit, fellas. And you mad at him? You hate him? You angry? What the fuck? They not talking about the Mark Furman thing. They not talking about when they pressed Christopher Darden. They made that brother stand to the forefront, the black man. They made him stand to the forefront. And this is not a race thing. You follow me, fellas. You know I'm not with that shit. Fuck no, I'm a spiritual guy. I'm never with that. This is the truth. They fucked up. Y'all pressed Christopher Darden to get up on the defense team, OJ's defense team, to make him try out that glove. Which you know they've been sitting in evidence for a couple years. Blood still on it, strength up. It's not the same, you know. The human body fluctuates, so OJ could be at a different weight. You know, they allegedly they say he took his arthritis pills and swelled his hand up and made his hand so he won't fit the glove or whatever. I don't. You hear a lot of shit, right? Who knows? But he didn't fit the glove. Y'all came with that. He tried the gloves on in front of the audience and everyone in the courtroom. They found a knitted cap. The same knitted cap, or not the same one, but I believe it could have been the same one that Johnny Cochran had on his head. And they said the hairs in there was like, I don't know, it was more conclusive to, I forgot, man. It was more so it's more like it's an African American hair, which doesn't mean it was OJ. It could have been anybody. You know, they basically fucked up. And then not only that, the main thing they did that was wrong in that case, bro, is the criminal lab that what's the name of the motherfuckers, man? The forensic department. Bro, they mishandled that whole crime scene, bro, with no gloves on. They was tracking up the blood with their feet and all type of shit. They fucked the case up. It backfired on LA. Let's keep it real. It backfired on LA like a motherfucker. But then y'all blaming OJ still. This shit crazy, bro. Brian Turner, remember the episode of Family Guy? They made him out to be crazy. Exactly. You know, they're going to do that. That's why when OJ was on his way out of jail in Vegas, he was great to get out of jail and shit. When he was on his way out, what they do? They hit America with the FS series, the People versus OJ, with Cuban Gooding Jr. and who else they had? They had Cuban Gooding Jr., John Travolta playing Robert Shapiro. They was alerting the new generation about OJ so they could automatically hate him just like they hate him. That's all they was doing. They was persecuting him. This was a public lynching in our face on TV. That's all they was doing to him. They knew he was coming out of jail. They knew right offhand that the parole board was going to go ahead and release OJ. So we ain't going to let him come out here quiet. We ain't going to let him, he's getting older. We ain't going to let him die in peace. We're going to alert the younger generation and the generation that follows behind them that this is a maniac monster. That's what they're doing. Why they haven't done that to the rest of Robert Blake? Who else is Phil Spector? The other guy that played not Robert Blake, Phil Spector. It was a lot of Caucasian guys in Hollywood, fellas, that allegedly murdered their wives, fellas. They you don't hear nothing about them. We gotta come on here and talk about them. The media ain't gonna talk about them, but they'll tell you about OJ though. Simply because they're little princess, they're blind princess, and you know what I'm saying, they're all American boy next door white guy slashed. Let's keep it real. With murder, unfortunately, and that's bad that happened to them. You know, let's keep it all the way real. But this was little Darren from up the street and Shanika from around the corner. Would this shit be exposed like this? Fuck no. We know this, fellas. We know this. And if you don't know now, the fuck you do know coming over here. Now you know. You know? They won't let this man rest in peace for shit. And that's how American is, fellas. And if you don't know it, then you know. That's how American is, you know. The land of the unjust when it comes to certain things, fellas, and when it comes to certain people. You know? Now, OJ played a big part in his downfall just as well. Oh, OJ, he thumbed his fucking nose at the media. OJ played a big part just as well, fellas, in this shit. I'll just keep it all the way real, you know? Writing a book, if I did it because you needed the money or whatever the case may be, and then you got that took it from you and it turned to the Goldmans took it and put the if inside the I, made it big like I did it, which basically saying, yeah, I did it. Ain't no if I did it, yeah, I did it. But hypothetically, if you do the book and look at the interview, OJ break it down that he was getting started on. He breaks it. That's what goes back to make me think that, okay, is he hypothetically speaking this, but he's actually indirectly telling you the truth? Like, what's going on here? Because he broke it down when he said the guy named Charlie, he helped me. The guy Charlie took the knife and Charlie picked me up and took me over there. And allegedly the Charlie guy is supposed to be one of the guys that that they owe that money to. I'm just keeping it real. That's why I'm hearing. He's probably one of the guys that Nicole and them owe money to. And then when OJ pulled up over there with dude, and she came outside, what the fuck you doing over here? You bringing this motherfucker, boom, boom, boom. And they got down on him. Because if it wasn't them, it would be OJ. Like, OJ, is either you or them. Somebody got to go. Y'all owe this debt. And that's what, fellas, that reigned the streets in the 90s, in the 80s. It wasn't really too much nothing, but the drugs was put, that was the economic system. A lot of people don't know this shit. That's how powerful kingpins and drug dealers were. You know? And OJ allegedly got caught up in that shit. They say, hey, this is what happened. So I'm torn on believing what actually happened. I don't know. So I wasn't there. But these are the stories that I heard. But I do also know that men can have a jealous streak to them to where they can act out of character and take it that far, fellas. And I know a lot of you guys may look at it like, no, I won't take, and you may not take it that far. Kudos to you, because you don't supposed to take it that far if a bitch trying to, leave you and she don't want to be a part of you no more. she's moving on and she's hiding wild with that monkey. You know what I'm saying? And that's the case here. You know, and he got a little possessive and bitch, you can't be doing this, especially around my name and making me look like shit. And I'm OJ Simpson. That can happen. You know, but the drug thing can happen too. So we don't really know, man. We just, you know, I was young, and my thing is this. I just want to say this, you know, may OJ rest well. May the brother rest in peace. You know, um, he had an infamous run. He had an infamous life. You know, he also lived a good life just as well. You know, he lived the fucked up life. Man, OJ had some lives, bro. He's been through his shit. But he gone now. And he's getting persecuted in the media like it's 1994 95 all over again. This is all I'm seeing, bro. Because I remember how big it was then, and I'm seeing it now. Like, this is it. I'm like, damn, this is big. But now it's like, you know, go to hell. Fuck you. You just, man, fuck all that, fellas. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We ain't with none of that, man, you know. But like I said, if you Caucasians or those who went against OJ or hated him, and LA, the government, whatever the case, Los Angeles, the government, the prosecuting attorney's office, Marshall Clark, all them people, you must remember Mark Furman. Not only that, you must remember Dennis Fung. Dennis Fung was a leading forensic detective at the time, and he was handling that shit with no gloves. See, guys don't talk about, they don't understand how contaminated that damn evidence, I mean, how contaminated that crime scene was. People don't see that. They don't want to bring that up. They so busy focused on OJ, this athletic Heisman Trophy winner, NFL player turned movie star, you know, made all these millions of dollars. Big black man thumbed his nose in Hollywood like he didn't give a shit. Got away with murder. That's all they paying attention to. That's all they focus on. They're not focusing on, you know, if he alleged it. Now, if he really did it, they're not focusing on what helped set him free. Was y'all. What the fuck? Let's keep it real. This shit is crazy, man. Let me see. OJ, Brian Turner, OJ and Marcus Allen were both Heisman winners at USC. That's crazy, LOL. But like I said, OJ wasn't no player like Marcus Allen. He was making them LA whole. He was making macking them LO. He was macking them LA hoes. They said, okay. No, what you mean he wasn't no player like OJ was before Marcus Allen. OJ, Marcus Allen, they wanted to be OJ. Yeah, everybody they looked up to OJ. They wanted to be OJ. He was OJ's young protege. That's what hurted OJ so bad when he turned around and was banging OJ's wife. Allegedly. We're going to say that, right? Because Marcus denied it. But OJ said it's so, and the rest of the chicks that hung with OJ said it's so. You know, I mean, that hung, not OJ, but hung with Nicole, said that it was so. So, hey, you know, of course he going to deny. He don't want to be a part of this. And like, you know, that's, I'm supposed to, you know, hey, that's a homicide. I don't want to be a part of that shit. The New Era Music, Pedro, like Casey said, they really damn near crucify OJ corpse despite of him being dead. Yeah. And they did that man dirty as a motherfucker. Bro. I'm like, oh, come on, man. I ain't the most hated motherfucker I ever seen. Shit, besides OJ in recent times that was hated like this, I don't really think I seen nobody that was really hated like this, bro. Like, not to this extent. No, hell no. Fuck no. I ain't really seen nobody that was hated like this, bro. You're like, you go back and see footages of Ted Bundy or something, nigga. They hated him, but I can kind of compare it to that. You know what I'm saying? Well, Osama bin Laden, you know, when they got him, but that wasn't really, they was outside the White House and doing all, but we didn't, Twitter and all that wasn't in then. You know, we probably had Facebook and IG was just probably coming around. I remember that. So it wasn't really out there like that. People, Osama didn't bin Laden. I can say that. If you want to talk about footages of what you seen, they hated it there. They was celebrating his shit, bro. So somewhere like that. That's a lot. I ain't never seen that other than that, bro. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy, man. You know, and Like I said, may he rest in peace. Hope his family find peace. Hope the Browns and the Goldmans and their families find peace, man. But it is what it is, man. Let's call this shit out like it's supposed to be called out, man. How the fuck y'all not forgive OJ if he did this shit and he was found not guilty, but you want us to forgive slavery? You want us to forgive all the you want us to forgive all the thousands of, I mean, come on, man, the years of this shit. You want to, and still relevant today in its own form. You want us to forgive that? Come on, man. The fuck out of here. I ain't buying it. I ain't going for it. Like, share, and subscribe, y'all. Hit the super chat, hit the membership button. Show love to the show like y'all do, man. Show me love, man. Go join that Patreon. Go join that Cash App. Go join that Rumble, fellas. You dig? Join that PayPal. Hit that. The links are definitely there. Ain't no excuse. Fuck with the player, man. You know what time it is. We're gonna do this shit now. We're gonna get up off this, and we're gonna get to what else is real. We're gonna jump over here to what the fuck is soft guy era, fellas. Somebody get up in here and explain this to me. I keep hearing this shit from multiple people. Let me get rid of this. Get rid of this. Now, what the fuck is soft guy era, fellas? Talk to me. Pedro, what'd he say? I don't even think Bill Cosby was hated like this. No. But plus, Bill Cosby isn't dead either. Now when it was time for him to go to jail, yeah, he was. Shit, they was on his ass, bro. They was on Cosby's ass. But when unfortunately, when he passed, we know what it is. We gonna see. And remember, we had this conversation, Pedro. Remember this. So, because Cosby's up in age, man. He ain't no spring chicken, so you know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? So let's get over here. Let me see. Let's make this pop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Bill got reminded real quick. Trend trader. Facts. Shit, he got reminded real quick, nigga. Shit, you ain't on. We not gonna let you elevate, grow, get none of this money, this network money that you're trying to invest into and buy. No, that's allegedly, like I said, that's one of them. But then didn't Bill actually admitted to doing that shit to a couple women? Spanish Fly, whatever, Quaaludes, Bill admitted that shit to a couple women. And that's what opened up the floodgates with him doing, allegedly, they say, him doing this to the rest of these women because he admitted it with them too. He could have admitted it with one bitch and they would have still persecuted him like he did it to everyone. Because that's what they want to do with him, bro. I'm just keeping it real. It's fucked up. Let me see. Pedro, soft guy era. Easy, beta males, dominant in bed, the married man in a nutshell. What you say? Trader, like, share, and subscribe. Y'all hit the super chat. Fuck with me. Hit the membership button. Trend trader. Everybody was doing it, but the other dudes were white. Yeah. Come on, man. You know that, man. Only now Harvey Weinstein. They had to put a poster boy up there for the whites and shit. We ain't talking about Kevin Spacey, Mark Collins Rector, Brian Singer, Mark Collins Rector, Brian Singer, Fred Savage from Boy Meets World. We ain't gonna name Brock Pierce. We ain't gonna name all the rest. Steven Spielberg. Yeah, let's not get into that, right? Let's not name these other motherfuckers. But Weinstein took a fall, boy. He had to take one for the team. Because if they was putting too much on the brothers like that, fellas, it would the scale would be way tilt and it would be lawsuits. NAACP, all type of people be coming out. Like, come on now, you got us fucked up. So they had to throw Weinstein out there. They are a couple other guys that done these things. You know what I'm saying? But being persecuted in the media like this, no one ever had this like OJ. I'm sorry. No one ever had it like OJ. No one. And I don't think no one ever will. Let me see. The new era of music, yeah, probably Satan. If he busts up on Earth or something, he'll be the only one that be most hated like OJ. Other than that, nobody else. It's crazy. Basically allowing the genders to be swapped. That's what it is? That's what's all. I don't know what it is, man. But we're gonna get to this shit, man. We're gonna talk about it. Now what I've heard it is, I heard it. Look at them. But what I heard, right? I heard that the soft guy era was based on guys taking their manhood or their masculinity in control. You know what I'm saying? I heard a video of a guy. I'm like, what the fuck? Because dude, the reason why I brought this up because I was talking to a little dude at the gym. He said, "Man, you heard the soft guy era?" I'm like, "Soft guy era?" I said, "Then now they got a lot of shit. They soft guy era. What they say? You got soft guy era now. It's more shit they be coming with. Was it it's soft now? A soft guy era. Um, cologne game era. They say cologne game. Um, no fap. They got a lot of shit going on, don't you? A lot of eras and shit, man. Come on, fellas, man. Well, I'm wearing some Jordans right now. There's gonna be some Jordan eras. the 12s, 12 era. Y'all come up with too much shit, fellas. Listen. Every man dictates and dominates and control him. He runs him. A man should not never look to try to dictate, dominate, control, and run a bitch. But you can't do that. You run yourself crazy. I'll speak on running. You run yourself crazy as fuck trying to do that. And a lot of guys look at it, and for what I understand is, the guy was telling me yesterday, it's like guys basically saying no and standing up for themselves. Something you should have been doing. Something every man got in them. But if it takes you to be a part of an era, to stand up for yourself and to make decisions for yourself and to think outside of the box, rather thinking inside the box like a lot of these average guys, then you wasn't no man from the jump. These things are supposed to come with you, fellas. It's spiritually connected to you. Always remember that. You know, your dominance, your masculinity, fellas, is spiritually connected to you. It makes up your DNA. It's you. That's what it is. So if you ask a chick, you know what I'm saying, like, let's go grab a drink or whatever the case, and she, I don't really know you. I want to get to know you. We got to vibe out, talk a little more. You know what I'm saying? Damn, what size hat you wear? What part of the city you come from? What's your favorite color? Get up out of here. That's a man that's well in control of himself, and he's not going for the bullshit. He's zero tolerance. But you can't get here, fellas, unless you experience life, experience women, experience certain things that you're supposed to experience, you know, within your growth and development of life. You know, you can't make it that far unless you're there. So when y'all come in with this soft guy era, I'm taking me back and ain't no bitch gonna control me. And you know, if I say I don't want to do this, then she's gonna have to deal with it type shit. Man, that's feminine shit. Fuck you mean? If I say I don't want to do this, I don't want to go here and there, she gonna have to deal with it. Motherfucker, that's what it's supposed to be anyway. Yeah, hold up. Who said something real quick? Let me see. The single mom era. You said the single mom, or you say Pedro? The new era music Pedro. He said, okay, single mom era. Yeah. If that's what it means, I don't know. Pedro, hey KC, if things keep continuing like this, escalating, men, if you were an upcoming parent, would consider homeschooling your children if you were in your 20s. Huh? Let me say, if things kept continuing like this, emasculate men, if you were an upcoming parent, would I consider homeschooling your children if you were in your 20s? Fuck no, I'll let my kids go to school. I don't do homeschooling, fellas. I don't do all boys school. I don't do the all girls school. None of that. You know, I do the origins of how things supposed to be. I'm gonna let my kids mix and mingle with other children. You know, that's a part of your growth and development, fellas, is socializing. You know, learning how to become you. And how you learn how to become you, fellas, is you get out there and you got to socialize. You got to learn who's going to be, and that's the beginning stages of learning friendship. You know, learning those who's not going to fuck with you, those who going to be cool with you. You know, organizing communications and things of that sort, fellas. It starts when you're young. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to deprive your children of being around other children. So no, I wouldn't do that. That's not me. You know, I want my sons to go to school with women. I want them to holler at women. I want my daughters to go to school with guys. I want guys to talk to my daughter to talk to guys. That's the origins. That's the organics. That's the original. That's how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? You don't want things opposite of that because you're living in fear of what is going on in society. You got to remember, you are in society, but you are not a part of society. What makes you a part of society is your mentality. You get it? We are all in society, of course, but what makes you part of that society, or what makes you part of these people and their bullshit and the things that they're leading with and their beliefs and how they look at things, fellas, is your mentality. Always remember that. I have the mentality of the man that do what the hell I'm going to do and what I want to do that suits and best benefits me. Fuck the next person. So if I'm putting my kids in school around people, I'm doing that to best suit and benefit me and these kids because I know it's the rights. You know, I know it's our rights, and I know it's also free will for them to want to be out there and communicate with other kids. You know what I'm saying? Fuck what other people think. Some people, I don't want to have my kids around these guys because of the LG rainbow shit, or I don't want to have them around these guys because they may think racist, or you know, they may be a little gangster over here, or whatever the case may be. That's life. That's life. You know, you want your children to learn what's best for them and what's not best. You want them to actually get out there and have that communication. And it helps them build communication skills just as well while they're younger. You know, that's just what it is. Trend trader. 100% Pedro. And no social media. The schools are converting young men with that rainbow shit. No, but you control your children. Fellas, school is school. The actual education, the roots of education for your children comes within the home. Now, if you're in the home and you're schooling your kids and you're teaching your kids gonna come up outside of the home, fellas, going into the schools and shit with the mentality of their father, their mother, and what they've been taught at home. And if they seeing shit that's out of line, yeah, they're gonna see rainbow shit. They're gonna, you know, they're gonna get some lecturing on, or educational lecturing on you know what we talking about, fellas, the LGB, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? Of course, but once they learn to identify those things and not take place within that shit, then they'll be 100. They'll be good because they took that from father, they took that from mother, they learned automatically, fellas. So you can want to take your children out of school because you don't want them to be around these things, fellas, but you got to also remember, you know what I'm saying, it's really no different from going into a church or a mosque or any place of worship and spiritual beliefs. You can go in there, you go into church all day long, and they can teach Christianity things, but you got the mind of being an atheist. You just going to hear them out. Does that make you a part of that community or that group, or that make them in their education field being contagious to where it wears off on you and now you a part of that field? No, hell no. No. Because your studies and your education come from elsewhere, it can come within. So you standing on who you are. You may can go and listen to things. Nothing wrong with opening your ears to hear things, fellas, you know, but that don't mean you're a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I wouldn't want to deprive my children in that. I get what y'all saying though, because it is fucked up out here. But you know, hell shit. I'm glad my children already grown, shit, because this the way it's going now, yeah, it's crazy. Pedro, anywhere music, said, right, Trent, I was wondering about it since we were on topic. He said, yeah, that's big facts, man, you know. And a lot of the soft guy era fellas plays into this type of shit, this rainbow community and shit, because this is feminine. It's feminine as a motherfucker for guys to be like, well, I'm taking my control back. If she say that I want to, you know, if I tell her I want to go to a park and sit down and communicate, and she say she want to go on a steak date, then no, fuck that shit. We ain't going there. I'm taking my control back. No, you're supposed to be like this. This is how you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be like this from the jump. If she say no, I don't want to go, I want to go. No, then baby, look, check this out. You got my number. Hit me up a little later, or hit me up whenever you get around to want to come through, because you already know what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm very direct and assertive, baby. I'm trying to get you up out of them motherfucking clothes. You know what's happening. And then she got a choice right there. You know, you don't gotta argue with the bitch and tell her, no, I'm taking my control back. I'm in charge of me. I run me. You don't do no shit like that. Then she already know you don't run you, or you wouldn't be talking about it. The fuck? She already know that she got all control over you more than you could ever have on yourself, or you wouldn't be talking about this shit. So motherfuckers miss me with that soft guy era shit. What the fuck? You dudes come up with all type of shit to justify why the fuck you a bitch. I'm gonna keep it real. To justify why the hell you can't get laid. You come up with all type of shit to justify why you can't just simply be direct and assertive with a woman. So y'all coming up with this soft guy era, you know. You know, pretty soon it's gonna be motherfucking mattress and blanket era. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck. Come up with everything, man. Steak and potatoes era. Come on, man. You come up with any fucking thing, man. Fellas, just simply holler at the chick. It's just that simple. Simply set shit up the way you want it to go. And if she's not abiding by it, fellas, then there's others that will. Keep pushing. You got to keep pushing. That's how we came up, fellas. I'm 42 years old. That's how we came up when we were younger. You know, one chick rejected, guess what? There's another one hitting the corner. We're going to get on that. She reject, guess what? There's another one hitting the corner. There's so many of them. I can't keep getting rejected. Some going to have to give. And guess what? It'll eventually give. It's a numbers game. You just got to stay on the grind. And you wouldn't have the mentality to be a part of a soft guy era, or to be a part of some shit that ain't got nothing to do with, you know, that ain't got nothing to do with you enhancing who you are. Come on now. Weak ass shit. Pedro, New Era Music. I heard they want to turn the super horses into the rainbow. Hold up, the superheroes into the rainbow community. Even the actor for Spider-Man is open for his Spider-Man having a boy. Oh man. Yeah, man. You know, we already know what they doing with that, fellas. They trying to diversify. Oh man, trying to diversify that creepy shit with the kids, man. Now, I mean, I see what y'all saying, taking the kids out to school and shit of that sort, fellas, but I understand, man. You know, I get what you guys want to do, but you gotta remember, fellas, these are your children. You are the parents. You are well in control. Now, when they get 18 or better, then they off on their own, but you are well in control. I always know that, man. You know, and then they turned it down. Spider-Man got the boyfriend. They said Batman and Robin was smashing, but it's fucked up, fellas. That's not my rhetoric. I don't like speaking on that shit. Hollywood is the hey mafia. Hollywood is the hey mafia, right? He said we're a motherfucker, man. But yeah, that's not my era. I don't look at that. I don't know, man. You know, I try to stay far away from the shit as possible because I ain't within that one. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them. You know, I'm about this game. I'm about women and me and my man, you know, and me and who I am as a masculine man. I'm about that all the way through, and that's what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to the homie Trent Trader and Pedro, Brian Turner for coming up in this motherfucker showing me love, man. You know, lending me their ear, man, so they can get this game. You dig? Shouts out to y'all. Like, share, subscribe, y'all. Hit that notification bell so you can be alerted on these shows. Hit me in the PayPal. Hit me in the Cash App. Or join me on Rumble. Casey the Red Pill out the debunk on Rumble, fellas. Hit me in the Patreon just as well, fellas. Let's keep this shit going. Let's keep it going. Show love with the super chat and the membership button, fellas. Like I said, man, it's all game. I'm always be here for you guys and get out this shit. And I'll be back with another slammer tomorrow, fellas. Y'all already know what we do, man. I'm about this bitch. Salute. One love. Holla.